What's going on, kid family? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. On today's video, we are taking the bumper that we just did a Rustoleum paint job on. If you guys have not seen the last couple videos where I primered and sand this bumper and then used the yellow Rustoleum paint to paint it, go check out those videos. They're very lengthy and in detail on how to do a do-it-yourself Rustoleum paint job. So in this video, we're gonna sand down this bumper, make sure it is nice, smooth, and even. We're gonna remove all that orange peel, and then we're gonna buff it out to original shine. So stay tuned, guys, if you're interested in how to do this, because you know we're gonna go step by step in depth so you can do this on your own. Alright guys, we are gonna be doing a voiceover here for this video. This is how the Rustoleum paint job came out right after application. This has been drying for about 4 to 6 days, and I'm just going over the paintwork. As you guys can see, there is a ton of orange peel. There's some dirt and debris that landed in the paint job during painting, because guys, as you know, we were painting in the garage, so it is very typical for stuff to land on the paint. And at this point, I said I just gotta keep going, so I kept spraying, hoping that during this whole process, during this wet sanding process, I can clean that up a little bit and get rid of that debris. So for this corner right here, I'm using some masking tape, and we are going to be wet sanding and polishing the corner right there and compare it to the other side. And for this process, you just need a few simple things. You need some sandpaper. I'm using 1500, 2000, 3000 grit. I'm using a rubbing compound or polish, you can say. And then last but not least, we are using a orbital buffer. So for the first step, we are using 1500 grit sandpaper. This is going to be the roughest sandpaper. We are wet sanding this, so make sure you use soapy water to spray the sandpaper as well as the surface you are sanding. So make sure you sand in X pattern direction, crisscross, try to avoid circles. And the reason we're sanding this is try to cut down on some of that orange peel that is found in the paint through the heavy coats. And we remove this orange peel by taking off some of the layers of the crisscross hatching. As you can see right here, we're gonna smooth that out by sanding it multiple times and polishing it, so then to the unknown eye you cannot see it. Rustoleum is a single stage paint, so as you can see, I'm removing some of that paint. If you're dealing with a two-stage process, you're just going to be removing clear. The paint won't come off, such as here. This is how it looks like after the 1500. You can still see some low spots. The low spots are the glossy spots that still have not been sanded down. So that indicates we need to sand a little bit further to cut down on those low spots. And one thing I noticed, all that dirt and debris that was in the paint is just now a tiny black dot. It is nice and smooth, so that is perfect. That is what I was looking for and hoping for. So the next thing is we're going to take our little softer sandpaper 2000, again wet sand it, spray with some soapy water, and get to cutting. Make sure you guys don't go too hard and stay away from the edges. When you're sanding these things, you want to be careful not to sand around the edges or over the edge too much, because that will lead to some problems. Alright, this is how she looks like after 2000 grit sandpaper. We are still experiencing plenty of orange peel. You see all the gloss, the low spots, and it's pretty much throughout the whole section that we are cutting. Some spots do have less of this orange peel, but a lot of them still have it. You can use 1000 grit if you want to cut down this process to make it shorter and faster, but be careful guys, the lower grit you use, the more it's going to take off, and you could potentially burn through this paint. This is something I experienced myself during this whole process, so be careful, take your time. This is a long, delicate process. This is a skill. I gotta say, this is a skill, people. You can't just start this and be a pro at this the next day. But here is the orange peel before, and this is what we are looking at after 2000 grit sandpaper. Here you still have some gloss and the clear, and now here it's just nice and dual. So let's hit it up with 3000. Let's fine tune it just a little bit more. Repeat the same process, wet sand, same opposite directions here, and we will be good to go for the next step in just a little bit. Alright, and this is what you get after 3000 grit sandpaper. You still see some of this orange peel. The more you leave of this orange peel behind and then you go ahead and polish, the more you will see it. It won't be perfect during the polishing procedure, but for this step, I'm going to roll with it. We are using rubbing compound from Turtle Wax. This is just what I have at home. You might have different products. Any kind of rubbing compound or polish will work. There's so many of them out there, and this is my buffer polisher. It's not the greatest. It's a rotating orbital buffer. It won't burn the paint, but in the store there are a ton of polishing compounds, polishing pads. So if you want to get a better finish, go ahead to the store, pick up the right products. There's buffers specifically made for this that have higher RPMs that are gonna cut through that paint and clear and give you much better results. Likewise, look at all these cutting compounds. There's Meguiar's that have different strength of how much they're going to cut the clear coat, and obviously you got to stack these up to get optimal results. Usually there's a three-step process: a heavy cut, a light cut, and a very fine cut to get rid of some of the sanding marks from the polish. But like I said, we are rolling with what we got. We are rolling with Turtle Wax. So let's start buffing and let's keep repeating this step until we're happy. So just like wet sanding, you don't want to stay by the edges too close. Same thing goes for polishing. I was on this edge way too long and look what happened. The edges probably don't accumulate as much paint and you can strip it right out of there. So my mistake, but hey, we got to keep on going. So we're going to do another coat real quick. And you can see again on my buffing pad all that paint coming off, because again, single stage paint where the clear and the color is actually mixed together. So single stage paint, you gotta be careful. It's a little bit harder to buff and work your magic on. But we're gonna do about 3 coats on this little section right now, and then we will see the results. Boom guys, look at the final results. The left side, the right polished side, night and day difference. As far as we're talking about the orange peel, it is much smoother. The paint is much more reflective and sharper in detail. I love it. Came out really good for how deep I actually sanded it. Now if I sanded it a little deeper and got rid of more of that orange peel, the reflection and the clarity would be even better. Alright, now it's time to remove this tape and polish this whole bumper up. And look at this guy's tragedy. I'm pulling off the tape and it's pulling the paint with it. The adhesive was too strong on the tape. And again, this is the Rustoleum paint job on an automotive finish. I gave it about 5-6 days to dry, yet I guess it did not dry. Even some of my fingerprints are in the paint when I was sanding it. You can see some fingerprints right there, and there's another fingerprint right there embedded in the paint. So always, I recommend using a hardener if you are painting a Rustoleum finish, or give it about a month to dry. Here we went over the whole bumper one more time. We took extra care. This process took forever, but we made sure we removed a lot of the orange peel compared to the corner we did before. Here you could barely see any of the lower aspect of the shiny paint. So this means we have a smooth, flat finish that's going to be ready for polishing. Alright guys, I just want to tell everybody that this process was not easy and it did not take a short amount of time. Sanding by hand, 3-4 step process, going over multiple places, observing it, cleaning it, wiping it. Takes a ton of your time, especially if you're not working with aggressive sandpaper and aggressive grits. People who do this for a living are skilled. They know what they are doing. They know the pads. They know what pad is meant to cut how much. There's a polishing pad, cutting pad, buffing pad. It's a whole science and industry behind this, which again I'm not really familiar with. I know the basics. I know the sandpaper will cut some of the clear coat off. I know the buffing compound is like a very fine sandpaper in a way. I didn't have all the ingredients and the tools necessary to finish this paint job to a professional standard. But if you guys are willing to keep at it, work hard, work with your resources, work with what you got, you can still achieve great success. It might not be perfect, but we managed to reduce majority of the clear coat, the orange peel from this clear coat from the Rustoleum paint job, and it looks tremendously better to the eye. The reflection is much higher, the clarity is much better. There still is fine scratches from the turtle wax rubbing compound. Again, typically you want to use 3 different types of rubbing compounds. One is a heavy cut, one is a medium cut, one is a light cut. This rubbing compound is probably the heavy cut. So if I wanted to really remove all the scratches from this paint job, I would need to use a medium cut and a light cut and then finish that up with a wax to hide all the minor scratches. Yes, we did remove most of the orange peel. Like I said, we still have some minor scratches and swirls in the paint that we would have to follow up later on with a fine rubbing compound and a wax. But just enjoy the beauty of it, guys. Anybody could do this. Small cost to pay for the clarity you want. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something in this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and other informative videos. Peace.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.